This is Oilersnation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Bagged Milk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
I told you on Tuesday when we were recording that episode that when the Friday episode of O&R rolled around, we would be talking about an Oilers series win. Gentlemen, mission accomplished.
What a banger of a week for us.
Things are looking pretty good around here.
Well, if you think about it, like in the span of a week and a half, how much things have changed. It's just why sports is the best.
7 days ago, they were down 2-0.
7 days ago, they were down 2-0. 4 comeback victories where the Oilers were down by at least a goal in all 4 of those wins.
Have you done anything the same for all 4 victories?
No, I don't do that. Like it seems more fun. Well, I mean, like that's just a game. Like those are rookie numbers. It seems more fun to me to have superstitions in a way.
Like, is Connor still rocking the gray suit?
I think so. He's got to be, right?
With luck.
But like, I know people that'll only wear the same jersey if they win, or if they lose, they'll change the jersey, or they'll wear the same clothes, and it just seems like way more fun.
I do that.
I have.
You had lucky shorts on yesterday.
I did have my lucky shorts on here. Put pants on when I got to the rink, but I had my jersey, my 2017 Draisaitl Orange Crush jersey. Wore it for all 4 games.
I was wearing my blue Draisaitl games 1 and 2. That was not working, so I had to go blue 73 and 4 in a row.
4 in a row with the Vin?
4 in a row with the Vin.
Wow.
See, wins. I was at game 3, Nuge jersey, always. I was there last night, Nuge jersey, always. But when they won the other 2, I was just rocking Nation gear.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
What do you have any superstitions?
No, I really didn't have. I didn't have a chance for any to really develop. Get drunk off my face. Okay, yeah, that was happening every game. Outside of that, though,
well, I had a very interesting turn of events yesterday. I had no thought that I was going to the game last night, and I was watching tickets all day, and they fell enough to the point where they reached my threshold of being like, "Fuck it, I'm going."
Yeah.
And then it went from not going to, okay, now I'm going. And now it's 1:30 in the morning and I'm very drunk. That's how my day went. And it was awesome. I regret nothing. I'm tired today.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Couple days off.
What are you laughing at over there?
I'm texting Jay about what we were talking about earlier. I don't want to bring it up, though. I don't want to bring it up. He just goes, wow, long time ago. Maybe I should pull that down. Don't say anything, but it's good.
Listen. Sometimes there are things out there and they blow in the wind around, you know? But we're going to talk about the Oilers. The Oilers made it through the Kings for a 4th straight year in the first round of the playoffs. We're going to start off with a delicious debate as we always do for our friends at Odd Company Brewing. Proud to partner with Odd Company Brewing on Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for the next big game, your next go-to lager, or to celebrate a series win even. Why not? Sounds great. Find it at either Odd Company location. I know Tyler went for some pizza there last weekend. Mm-hmm. Delicious as always.
So good.
Go to liquorconnect.com. You can find it like a search engine. Search it up. Find a liquor store near you that carries Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Tyler, over to you for the delicious debate.
I just want to go positive here to start. So I'm going to say this. What was your number one, like when you think back about this series in 5 years, what's going to be your number one moment?
I'm going to think about how the LA Kings, now I'm going to say it and I'm going to say that there was context at it. Thinking about them posting those win pictures after games 1 and 2. And now I had a bunch of Kings fans in my mentions like, they do that every home game for whatever. I was like, okay. But like none of us know that. And the Oilers probably don't know that. So that bulletin board stuff going up and like the mustache thing. Oh, it's about Philip.
So you're telling me I can go back and look at their posts and you're going to find,
that's what I was told.
You're going to find a winning photo every single time.
That's what I was see told. One from the last 4 games, tell you that much.
So that I think, and then how things ended up, I'm just going to remember it because like 4 series wins in a row now over the Kings, and all 4 of them have been very, very different. The first year, the Oilers were down 3-2. That was the Kane holding up to 7. That was that game.
Yeah.
Year 2. Oh, so then they won 7.
Yeah,
year 2, then it was in 6.
Connor goal also stands out that year. Those are the 2 kind of defining moments.
Yeah, then it was in 6, then it was in 5. But this year was just a little bit extra special because they were down and everybody wrote them off after 2 games. Series was
They
over.
were written off before.
Blow up the roster. Well, there was that too. And I want to talk about Darnell Nurse's quote after because it's very funny.
So that was great.
Wrote them off. Series over. Connor's leaving. All this shit. 2 games. Come roaring back for 4 straight wins. Our pal Cal, perfect in the playoffs.
Unbelievable.
So when I think about the series, how can you not think about the way they turned it around and won despite everyone doubting them?
For me, I think it's going to be that, like, again, talk about Kane holding up 7, Connor's goal, all that. I think I'll remember Bush's game tire in game 4 probably the most. Like, that was just such a moment where, like, there are other things. Like, obviously, Leon's OT winner, electric. I believe that even if he doesn't score that, they still win that hockey game. And you can talk about the challenge, the goalie interference challenge. That's probably up there. But, like, you know, even if that game is just tied, they could still win that game. If Evan Bouchard does not score on that shot with 29 seconds left, they do not win that game. They're down 3-1, and this series is still alive. Or if it's not still alive, the Oilers are done. Like, that Bouchard goal, the roar of the crowd, there's that video on Twitter of just the crowd noise from it. And it's unbelievable because it goes from everyone just the shoot and then quiet again and then just an explosion. Like,
Yeah, the pop was amazing.
Pop was unreal. So I think I'll remember that Bouchard goal the most.
Even
That
just like
Bouchard goal needs to be remembered with a side of he kept the puck in too.
that Quentin Byfield missed. So like last night, again, very drunk when I got home and I had an article to write, but I was very distracted by the LA Kings subreddit. I don't know if anybody listening to this is a Reddit person, but if you are or you're not, please dive into that for a little bit. I was telling Rick before we started, I'm like, I could probably just read comments for a full hour and we'd have a good show.
Oh, yeah. So Waz reposted. I did this on O&E, so I won't do the full bit again. But Waz reposted the video I had from before game 1 where I said, everyone says this Kings team is different. I'm here to tell you they are not. You can talk about better goaltending, blah, blah. I went back and read articles from our site from previous series where we said the same shit about them every single time. Same shit. Well, they added Kevin Fiala this year. Oh, Cam Talbot's playing unbelievable. Anyways, I said they're the same. The comments on that post are so fucking funny. People saying I'm ignorant. People saying I'm a homer. People saying I don't know how to talk hockey.
You are a homer though.
I am. But like,
You're still correct.
duh. And the point is, I'm correct. Like, this guy has the worst takes on this entire app. I was right. And that was, by the way,
Well, that's a big app. Come on, man.
by the way, Oilers
survey.
fan. Oilers fan who tweeted that at me.
Well, he took a
Doesn't
survey.
surprise me.
The
Who
amount
was
of
it? Say his name.
Broder 3 something.
Marty Brodeur wrote, man, Marty Brodeur's in your mentions.
But like,
Those
it's
Enterprise rent a car out.
It's so funny when people were just like, you don't pay attention. It was Oilers fans being like, sorry, man, they're getting rolled. And it's like, how did no one believe in a team that was down 3-0 to the Florida Panthers and forced to game 7? How does no one believe in a team that won the Western Conference last year?
And it takes 4 games to win a series.
Yeah.
Full
Look at-
stop.
Look at the roster. Look at the depth. This was going to be a thing where you could just keep throwing out your lines and eventually you're going to tip the scale because you have a much better team. And that's exactly what happened here.
Liam, what's the thing that sticks out? Most memorable moment of the series for you that you'll be thinking about?
I like the overtime goal by Draisaitl.
First career OT winner in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was special. If I want to pick like one single moment, I mean, the McDavid tying goal in game 1 was pretty sick too.
Yeah, it
I
was
know
awesome.
obviously what happened after didn't go that way, but like that moment itself just on its own that was pretty cool.
The celebration. So
Yeah, like
You know what's
that
another
was
great one?
Special.
And just because of the celebration you just mentioned is the Oilers posted a video on their Instagram last night. It was like a solo shot of Calvin Pickard after Connor Brown hit the empty netter and he just puts his arms in the air and then leans back on the crossbar. It's fucking awesome.
The fact they came home, they were down in front of our crowd, with our crowd, came out and dominated game 3. They turned it around. They came home, they got in front of their crowd, they got a little more healthy, they got a little more playing time together because this team has not played a lot together.
Mm-hmm.
And you just saw the cream, the best just rises to the top, right?
It's so much fun.
Rogers Place is just different, man.
Well, and this series is also, you've said it a million times, Tyler, over the years, you're only in trouble when you lose on home ice.
Yeah.
Only one team in this series lost on home ice.
Yeah.
And they were in trouble.
And this one felt a little more gratifying because people were so against us. The Kings thought they had us. They were up 2-0. Everybody was counting us out. and then 4 in a row.
Something, man.
It's the best. It almost kind of felt in a way, although there was an extra game tacked onto it, of the Calgary series from a couple of years ago, where game 1,
They got lucky for game 1,
9-6
man.
or whatever it was, and game 1 for Calgary, and everybody's like, oh, Flames in 4, Flames in 5, and then the Oilers came roaring back with 4 straight wins. It felt kind of like that, even though there was an extra game on top.
Yeah, it did. It was a fun series, I think, overall. An absolute roller coaster. Just this prime Oilers hockey.
Were you nervous going in?
No. Which also made me a little bit nervous.
Got breaking news from the Oilers, gentlemen.
Go ahead.
Oh,
The Edmonton Oilers have signed defensemen. Well, they've given a defenseman a 2-year extension.
John Klingberg?
is it Klingberg?
Who was it?
No, it's Wallman. No.
Alec Regula.
Oh.
He's back 2 more years.
Sight unseen.
2-year, 2-way deal for Alec Regula.
Huh, there you
I
go.
hope all the listeners, actually, wait, no, they would hear this hours later, so never mind.
Yeah,
I
you
hope
probably
that
saw
knee
it.
that knee clears up then.
Joke will land there.
Welcome back.
Well,
Hey,
Welcome.
congrats.
Congrats. Welcome
You
back.
turned being a glue guy, whatever you're doing right now, into a 2-year deal. I like
He's
it.
only 24. I mean, I don't.
And
see
also,
him as
like,
anything, but
the Condors need humans.
yes.
yeah, and you have
It's
a
a
guy.
2-way deal, so
Yeah, it's good. Good signing, I guess, as long as it's not. What's the value?
1.4 million. No, it's probably league, man.
Are we going to talk about 1.4 millions? Corey Perry?
75.
Hello, Corey Perry.
Oh.
We've never doubted you.
Quiet night from yesterday, but good series overall.
Connor and Leon did not have a 5-on-5 point in games 5 or 6, and the Oilers still won by a combined 4 goals.
And
McDavid
yet
had,
other people are still trying to tell you this is a 2-man team.
It ain't.
it is.
They have
It's
no
playoff Yanmark and playoff Brown.
Hot damn.
But that was the amazing thing too about the last 2 wins is even last night, 6 goals, 6 different goal scorers, neither named Connor or Leon. Well, there was a Connor, but it was a Brown one.
Huh?
So it's just amazing that the depth scoring has come through. We've been complaining about it all season. When are
Waiting
these guys
for it.
going to go? When are these guys going to go? Now they're all going.
This team is built for the playoffs. You want to see what they do in April and May and June. And now we're going to get an opportunity.
We were talking about some stuff. Another thing that I'll remember is the quote from Darnell Nurse last night. He was just asked in his post-game scrum, what was different about this year than the previous 3? And he said, well, we came in and y'all thought we were going to lose. So that was different. That got a healthy chuckle in the dressing room. So shout out to Darnell Nurse. Huge goal last night. Although if that was a reverse and that went in on one of our goaltenders, everybody'd hate it.
That was an awful, awful goal to give up. And like the other ones, deflection to start. Nuge picks a corner. Okay.
Snipe.
That was
Yeah.
right over the pad though, wasn't it? Nurses?
Yeah,
it was
like
more. It was
pad
more
on.
like right under his arm almost.
Was it?
Yeah, he probably should have had that.
And again, playoff Yanmark with the
Looking
Mario
like-
Lemieux.
Thank you.
Lets it through the legs.
That was slick.
Hot damn. He started that. Or I guess he was the second part, but I'm telling you, man.
You guys just can't let us have it.
You can have it. I'm all aboard. Yeah, I was
The look
wrong.
on your face says no.
I just wonder if you meant to. No, I'm kidding. You know what? Like,
He did because you
He's
can
just
see him,
making
you
plays.
see him like turn around and see where that puck was going.
yeah, he's doing well. But also, too, I'm not walking back on any of my takes on him in the regular season. And that will be stubborn of me. He wasn't good enough. But now he's playing great.
He was good.
Everybody is.
He was good enough.
I would argue not. He's healthy scratch 3 times.
That's because the rest of the team was looking good.
Because he wasn't.
But even he said, right?
either
Like,
way,
and
it
he's
doesn't
like
matter
in
now.
game like 70, he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have a career year here.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, is that from then? I thought that was the other night. I didn't realize that was
He did say it. No, he said it the other night, but when he's talking about
Gotcha.
it, they were talking about his season. He's like, yeah, around like game 70. I was kind of like, well,
But
don't think we're going to have a career year this one.
It is amazing though, those 2 guys, Brown and Yanmark, how they just something about the playoffs just gets
The
them
energy.
both going.
the energy, I think, and just the momentum they're able to find. And like, think of when like they get opportunities. Like, they're not exactly like cycling the zone over and over again. Like, they're going in on like 2-on-1s or like just pure chaos is kind of happening. And I'm sure the energy just, well, I'm positive the energy builds up when those guys get out there. And it's not because it's those 2 players, it's because of the opportunities they've been able to create for themselves in certain ways. And, Yeah, they're quickly becoming fan favorite. I can't believe Connor Brown had 3 points yesterday. He should have had 4. Like, imagine if Kane had been able to bury that one.
Yep.
Which was super good move by Kane, a bit unlucky.
Yep.
But great play by Brown again.
Because it was also one of those ones where it was like bang, bang too, right?
Totally.
Like super quick play.
Yeah. Kane was good yesterday. A lot of
How nervous were you guys? First shot goal? Two goals, first 3 shots?
honestly, felt irrelevant to me in a weird way because it's like guys straight in, one-on-one. Like he should have scored.
When the second one went in, I was a little bit of like, oh God, is the
Is it happening?
Yeah, like, is this? I'm a nervous guy.
Did you think you were going to see Stu at that point?
I didn't think I was going to see
one
Stu,
more.
Not at that exact second, but
but I
perhaps
was
later.
definitely in my head being like, how many goals does Cal have to give up today for it to be a conversation on the show tomorrow of who do you start in game 7?
That early, hey?
I just always I'm thinking all the time. I'm a thinker.
I saw a stat, and I'm pretty sure it's right, but the Oilers are the first team in the playoffs to tie a game twice in the first 6 minutes of the game.
They were.
What?
It was just like, it was, but like, that was the amazing thing about it is one goal goes in, bang, immediate response. We're not even done
God.
celebrating. Fucking Kings score another one. Okay, fine. Bang, response. And then all of a sudden they're up by 1 by the end of the third
How does
period.
this happen to us all the time?
Because we are chaotic.
Nobody, I swear to God, scores a goal and the whole world's against you almost immediately afterwards.
What is the name of that announcer at Rogers Place? He does a good job.
Al Stafford?
Al Stafford.
He's not even done saying the names.
Nope.
Not even done saying the names.
He's in a band.
Is he?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter today, actually. He's in a band. He's the lead singer.
Well, he's got the pipes for it.
Find out what they're called.
Why not? Why not? I want to move into some other stuff from last night, but I'm going to give a shout out to our friends at Oodle Noodle. Go download the Oodle Noodle app on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. You can earn points to win free noodles. And I say that's a good deal for you. It's good for your mouth. It's good for your pocketbook. Oodle Noodle. Go download the app. I'm going to continue on with the Game 6 recap. Again, 6 different scores, including Trent Frederick last night scored his first as an Oiler. Just as an aside on that goal, I get, Tyler, sometimes when we're out and we're at games or whatever, and we're doing events, like our social team, they always have their phones out. They're recording everything. Yeah. Last night, I got a taste of that. I touched the dragon. I was having such a good time with the Kemper chants in the crowd. They were so funny to me. Like the game wasn't even starting yet and the crowd was on him. Yeah, I loved it.
On it early.
So at one point I decided to pull my phone out and I start recording the Kemper chant just because I think it's funny. And I see the Oilers coming down the ice. And I go, oh shit. So I zoom in and there is the Trent Frederick goal. And I got to freak out with my phone going bananas.
I saw your video.
Now I know why they do it. I felt glory of social recording.
I can never do that. Like I will text during like stoppages and stuff, but I struggle so hard to like capture moments of like recording stuff. But then like being right there too. I saw your video. It was awesome. But like Payton the other day had a great video of the overtime winner as well. I was like, I would never think to just pull out my phone in that moment.
Video.
I just can't. Yeah, I'm too focused on what's going on.
Well, it is again. It was only because the Kemper chant was cracking me up. It was it was making me laugh the whole time. And then Tyler, you mentioned it on Oilersnation every day. The production staff at Rogers Place are so good. The Kemper chants are going, and then they have the slow zooming camera in on his face on the jumbotron. Hilarious.
He had to have just been so rattled.
Well, how could you not?
Right? Like, I will say, Kemper chants at points, I think everyone was really getting into them, but they were a little disjointed. There were a few where everyone was doing it at different points. So it just sounded like,
We're going to have a discussion about this though, right?
Let's do it right now. We got
Kemper, 2 syllables.
Easy.
Hill, 1.
Aiden.
Oh, there you go. All right. Let's get this out there. Make sure everybody knows.
Got it.
Make sure everyone's on the same page.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's very funny how you can tell there's like almost like a rule book of like when a chant is positive and when it's negative. So like if you were chanting like, it's Bouchard or Nuge score, right? And it's like Boosh, Nuge. When it's long and drawn out, but the drawn out is only 1 syllable, positive. When both syllables are drawn out, negative.
It's so true.
Science.
Yeah, you would never just be like Kemper. It's like a camper.
Gotta let it linger.
What was?
You gotta lean into both.
I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but do you have the stat that you read on your show about the Vezina candidates and how they've performed so far?
17 goalies have played 3+ games in these Stanley Cup playoffs. The 3 Vezina finalists rank 15th, 16th, and 17th.
I thought it was 14, 56, but yeah, it's crazy.
It's nuts.
What the fuck is going on?
Wild.
But everybody make sure you yell about goaltending all the time because it's obviously a very, very simple thing to figure out.
Yeah, it's simple, really. Why was Calvin Pickett? Why didn't he play all 82 games? Clearly, he's the best goalie in the league.
He's the only
He is
goalie before and all.
Yeah.
Okay. Numbers don't lie.
Numbers certainly do not lie.
But it is a wild thing. Like Darcy Kemper, but again, in game 5, he was so good, but the Oilers were better.
Every
And
year
then-
we're told, hey, they brought in a better goalie. This is what's going to get it done.
Yeah,
They got to go. Look at this goaltender. Look at this goaltender this time.
Corpusalo. Who else have we seen?
Quick, the first year was
Quick,
good.
yeah. Big Save Dave.
Big Save
came in.
Dave last year. Yep.
Thought we were seeing him
I
last
thought we were going to
night.
see Big Save Dave last night too. Speaking of which, why are we the only team that seems to get our goalie yanked by the concussion spotters?
Yo, I was losing
Holy
my mind.
smokes.
They
Kemper
also
got
didn't pull
nailed.
Pickard when he got fucking rocked.
I think the difference was Kemper was hit directly in the head.
Yeah.
That was
like
a
knee
knee
to
to his
head.
head. And Pickard, blindside hit, no penalty. But yeah, the Kemper one, knee to the head. Called waved off the trainer.
The camera was on his face. You could see that he was rattled.
And he should have been. He got a knee to the head.
Yeah, and Arvidsson was flying too. Like he came in there hot.
I think that was a penalty. I understand the idea of like he was trying to make a play. It was like you cut.
You
it's
can't
not
cut
like
through the crease and hit
you
him.
didn't cut near the top of the crease.
No, you were right through the middle.
middle.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a penalty for sure. But like the thing that bothered me was, all right,
Well, then,
yank him out.
yep. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Let's you guys mentioned the Pickard one. That happened kind of, I mean, I was up there, but like that happened in front of me. Wild shit.
That was like
Unbelievable.
Drove right through him.
And
Like-
yeah.
Was it because he was not fully, I don't even understand. I've got no justification for it.
I think the argument was that they deemed him not to be in the crease, but they showed the overhead. I think his heels were in the crease. Like if that was a goal, I think the Oilers would have won that challenge.
Yeah.
100%. He nailed them. And like, I guess in the moment you can understand it, but also I think your instinct should be to protect the goalie, which you already did in the game anyway.
At this point, you're trying to trust the NHL officials, and we all know where that gets you.
Yeah. I said on the other show today is like, if these are the best in the league, I'd love to see the worst.
There's no better example of going back a game.
Yeah, Quentin Bystander.
Byfield putting both hands on the puck in the crease.
That should be
Right in
reviewable
front of the
play.
ref.
Like Toronto should just call and be like, "Hey, penalty shot."
Yep.
Like I don't mind that. Like I would
It's in
actually,
basketball. It's in the NFL.
every sport, basically. Just like help these guys out because if you missed it, whatever. They're human too.
But that's why we have the guys up
But
top.
we have so many
exactly.
cameras.
Like
We're free
for that point, like, yeah, I'm complaining that was right in front of him, but I also understand things are moving really quickly. It's chaos. But when you have a camera that's pointing at it, certainly Toronto could be like, whoa.
Help me
We've
get
seen
it.
plays that the official is staring right at the player and something happens and he lets it go.
Perfect example. Aaron Ekblad.
There you go.
A forearm straight to the mush. Not even a
Referee, nope, that's fine. Keep it going.
Speaking of that, really
Then
quickly,
2 game.
Brandon Hagel had a quote.
Yeah.
He said, "Purposely going for someone's head is as bad as it gets. You only get one brain." He obviously had to hit on Barkov as well in the series. He added that if Barkov or one of the Florida players would have tried to fight him because of the hit against the Panthers captain, he would have answered the bell, even if it meant he got his ass kicked. He finished his interview today saying about Ekblad, if you're going to go for someone's head, someone's coming for you.
It's a good Canadian.
Hot
player
damn.
right there.
When do they play first time next year?
Yeah, and hopefully opening night.
The other thing I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, I want to give a shout out to Warren Fogle. Decided to not score on a breakaway just for old time's sake.
Yeah.
0 for 2 on breakaways in the series.
You know,
He was frustrating the hell out of me the first 2 games because he looked like he was everywhere, and every
he
time
was
the puck
everywhere.
went in, he was out there.
Yeah.
And it felt like he only finished with 1 goal.
Yeah.
I could have sworn he had 3. Like in those first 2 games, I felt like everything was going in off him.
yeah, he was buzzing, and then you could tell he was frustrated. And again, shout out to the production team when they were doing the handshake line when they singled in on Fogle as he was kind of going through. Hilarious. That was a sad boy.
Connor
Little icy.
Little
Little iced him out.
Did he? What did he do?
Connor, like I thought former teammate, like you stop, tell him whatever. Connor barely looked at him.
Yep.
He got a chest tap, didn't he?
Yeah, but it was kind of like,
Yeah. Like, I mean, Connor and Drew was more than.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Him
those
and
two,
Fogle.
like you could tell, like
They
the
kissed,
Four
I think.
Nations thing. Yeah, they give a little bump squeeze.
I love it because Connor, he's going in there going, yep. And it's absolutely killing Doughty.
Oh, of course.
Killing him.
That guy's won everything there is to win in hockey, and to get blown or like to get knocked out 4 years in a row, same
He's
team.
never won a series against us.
It's gonna be, guys like that hate to lose.
The the Ducks have won a series more recently than the Kings.
I think the Sharks have.
Have they too?
Yeah, they would have for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Secondary delicious debate. Tyler, we'll start with you. What do you think this does to the LA Kings?
It's really, really hard to tell. So on one hand, if you're the Kings front office, do you sit there and go, we, as we are currently constructed with this core of players, are not good enough to beat the Oilers, never mind win a Stanley Cup. So what are we doing? Doughty's got 2 more years left. Danault has 2 more. Kopitar has 1. Kempe has 1. Kemper, I think, has 2 as well. Do you sit there and go, man, like, we're not going to win with this group. We would get a ton for all of these guys. And do you try to do a little on the fly? It's going to suck for 2 years. Strip her down. Try to get like a bunch of assets, hit on a few of them, then make a big splash in free agency in a couple of years when the cap goes up and there's a good free agent crop. And then just say, like, we're going to go through a little 2-year retooling phase here. Or do you sit there and say 1 year left, 2 years left for all of those guys? They have $23 million in cap space and they only need to sign 1 more forward and a backup goalie. So if they wanted to, they could go spending like crazy this summer. Even if they were to bring back Gavrikov and a backup goalie, they could still drop 15 mil on a guy.
So
Yeah, but there's not a lot of.
It's Marner.
let's look at some of these names here.
Yeah.
So Anze
they can
Kopitar's
have
got a
Marner.
full no move. Kevin Fiala's got a full no move. Philip Deneau's got a 10-team no trade. Kemper's got a 10-team no trade. With Kemper though, like they would get a haul for him, but at the same point, why would you get rid of? Or sorry, not Kemper. Kempe is who I'm talking about.
How old
Adrian
is he?
Kempe. Like, why would you get rid of Adrian Kempe?
How old
He's
is
so good. He's 28.
Yeah. Like you probably do just keep that guy around for the next rebuild. But like
I mean, you got to sign him though.
you have to sign him. Yes.
And he's gonna get some big smoke.
Yeah. I don't know. Just kind of like my point is, does this push them towards a rebuild or does it push them to just get
One
super
more
aggressive
try.
in adding? And the interesting thing is that Rob Blake doesn't have a contract for next year.
Nor should he.
No. So, well, apparently the Kings offered him an extension during the season and he turned it down
Smart.
and said he wasn't sure if he wants to keep doing this.
Yeah,
so I
smart.
do think that'll tell us a bit about their direction of like, if Rob Blake comes back, I think they're running
One
it
more
back.
try.
Because I don't think Rob Blake has any interest in managing this team through a 4 to 6 year rebuild.
Not if he was already questioning it.
Right? If they were to get rid of Rob Blake and bring in someone new, you would imagine, like usually when you're a newly hired GM, outside of like a Bowman situation where you come into like a bona
Yeah, when
fide
we
cup
had nothing
contender,
to do.
usually when you're a newly hired GM, you kind of sit there and go like, oh, this is my only chance to build this up myself.
I got to make a move.
Because if you delay it a couple of years and then you suck for 2 years, you get fired. If you suck for the first 2 years, but then you start showing signs of improvement, you keep your job. So I think if it's Rob Blake, I think they run it back. I think if it's a new GM, they take a step back.
Brooklyn Blake, free agent.
Free agent?
Yep.
Rob Blake Stoddard is free agent.
There you go.
I'm gonna take
15 mil.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Brooklyn Blake.
We sat by Rob Blake's daughter at a game once.
Oh,
And she really wanted us to know she was Rob Blake's daughter because we were cheering very hard for the Oilers. And she took her press pass at one point and like flipped it over.
Yeah, she was flipping it over.
over her shoulder so we could read it.
So then she does that. Me, Tyler, and Jay are very drunk. So we just start going like, oh man, this Kings team might be good if they didn't have such a shit GM. Such a horrible fucking GM. And man, he was a terrible hockey player too. And it was just like, we were having a lot of fun.
some fella.
Again, I mentioned it quickly, but 4 comeback victories in the series for the Oilers. Just the resiliency that they showed throughout the series was pretty incredible. 13 different goal scorers on the Oilers roster in round 1. If that doesn't tickle your pickle, I don't know what will.
But I thought they had no depth.
Built for the playoffs.
Yes.
I would look around the NHL a little bit because the first round is not done. We still got some work left to do, fellas. What are you thinking about the other series that are still left? Obviously, Toronto got through Ottawa. I think they should have beat Ottawa probably sooner, and that series was way closer to going the other way than a 4-2 series win suggests.
Yeah, like I saw again, it was like the Leaf Stars finally came through for them in a big game, and it's like you don't get a ton. You get some credit. You don't get a ton of credit for it taking your third crack against the Ottawa Senators to have a good game.
You get no credit because you damn well almost made a mistake where you kept one of your best players out of the fucking lineup.
Yes. Yeah, that William.
That would have been epic.
And
What do you mean?
So they had
Alex Nylander on the lineup card.
And it was the refs that went to the Leafs and like, you have Alex Nylander in your lineup.
They had Will as a scratch.
So
they had Alex in the roster.
So because the refs told them before the game started, they were allowed to correct it. But if they had missed it
and dropped the puck,
William Nylander would have got pulled out of the game.
Wow. Does Alex Nylander even play for them?
He's a black ace.
Imagine him in the stands with Alex. We need you, buddy.
Suit up, pal. I don't have my skates.
We're your brothers.
Yeah, use your brothers. Surely the same size. Man, if that had happened,
yeah, it was a crazy story.
That would Toronto would have collapsed. Like not the team, the city.
Oh yeah,
no, they
were
would have
already faltering. So I couldn't.
Well, when
it.
Ottawa tied it at 2, like
that was. I can only imagine the temperature in the city at the time.
I was listening to the radio on the way in, and on 1440, they were literally just laughing at the fact that Perron had scored when he did. Like only the Leafs this would happen to, and then I think Pacioretty scored, right?
Yeah.
So
Pacioretty got
the
the winner.
Stars didn't actually come through. Max Pacioretty came.
Marner scored. Oh, sorry. Matthew scored one. I think Willie had 2.
Arguably
One was
one
an
of
empty
the
netter.
funnier power play goals I've seen too. Is kind of like a change up on the ice that made its way all the way through traffic.
See, and I don't want to discredit them too much because those guys obviously scored goals, but like I wouldn't consider my star players coming through Austin Matthews getting the first goal of the game. If Austin Matthews gets the game-winning goal, I would consider that my star player showing up in the moment. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah. Sure.
What did he do besides his one goal?
Sorry?
I guess if he assists on a couple more, then you can say.
He was zeros everywhere else. He was 0 on the night besides the goal. I mean, Nylander had 3 points, I guess. Pacioretty had 2. Marner had an assist.
I like William Nylander.
I do too.
I think he's the best of the bunch, actually. Of those guys,
around, for sure.
Of those guys, he's my favorite of those guys.
He's the only one who ever comes through in the playoffs for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Remember a few years ago when he didn't start the season because they were refusing to sign him because they were worried about all their contract situation? Yep. That would have been special. Alex wouldn't have been able to help them in that.
No. Looking again around the NHL. The only game tonight is Friday is the Jets at St. Louis.
Without Mark Scheifele.
No shit.
Yeah, Mark Scheifele, man, he got demolished. Like I was watching the game the other day. They were taking active runs at Scheifele that were like, I don't care about that game.
They were big hits.
But even me, I was going, fucking they're getting
those gotta some of those have to hurt.
Yeah, the one along the boards, like there's no way that didn't hurt.
He didn't travel, so I don't know if that even what that says about Game 7. If they're
but Ehlers is back tonight. First game of the series for Nick Ehlers. That's a big boost.
I did think it was funny the post game from Montgomery where he was like, no, he didn't get hurt on that hit. He got hurt on this hit. Like, how many hits were there?
It was, man, every shift he was out there, he was getting leveled. Like they were headhunting Scheifele all day.
Oh, I just imagine a coach. I couldn't imagine a coach being that. Like, yeah, you got injured, whatever. Nope, not that one. This one.
The interesting thing about this series is how the Jets, they're up 3-2 in the series, but there's a very real chance that they fuck this up.
St. Louis plus 350 to win the series.
We talked about this on the pod. I think it would have been last Tuesday, maybe, when Rutherford had that hilarious press conference.
Yes.
He's doubled down on it.
Jim?
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So he was on John Shannon's podcast and was asked about Quinn Hughes and goes, quote, like a dead quote, we control him for a year and 2/3 because if we get to that trade deadline 2 years from now and it doesn't look like he wants to stay, then we have to do something. Why even say that?
Excellent.
This dude's such a fucking bozo.
He's just
stay away from the microphones, bud.
Yeah, like who's letting him go in front of microphones?
I think that's what Vancouver wants. They want to be in the conversation
of the city, so they don't get forgotten
in the
about.
conversation.
Yeah, but for all the wrong reasons.
Those pesky Whitecaps keep stealing all the attention.
Here we are, May 2nd. The Canucks haven't played in 2 weeks, and we're still talking about them.
Well,
Because what is Poho, right?
Mhm.
Not even the GM is being like, yeah, we might trade our best player. We already
what
traded
is their
the other
GM's name called? Patrick Alvin?
one.
Yeah.
Patrick Alvin, Mr.
That guy must
Irrelevant.
just be like, what the fuck's going on?
Did he play for them or something?
No.
No. He's an agent.
He was an agent, I
Was
think,
he?
right?
Okay. Yeah, kind of nuts. Probably time to retire, Jim.
Really quickly, going back to Jets and Blues, what's your take in St. Louis tonight?
I mean, it's kind of just the Connor Hellebuck show. And it's weird to say this, that they've been winning in spite of Connor Hellebuck in this series.
Which was kind of what happened the other day.
Yeah. Because like he gave up that one goal on the ice. I know he made some big saves, but it's like nominated for the Hart Trophy. Like, what are we even talking about here? Saying he made some big saves, but I had like an 840. If Connor Hellebuck finally plays like a really, really strong game, then the Jets will win this thing. But if not, the Jets won't. Like, I really just think it's that. It's will Hellebuck steal it?
How about tomorrow night? We got a game 7, 6 p.m. Mountain Time at Stars.
I hope Dallas takes it.
It would be very funny if Colorado did all of that roster surgery and every move they made, Oilers fans were like, why didn't the Oilers get that guy? Why didn't the Oilers get that guy? Why didn't the Oilers get that guy? For them to flame out in round 1 while Nathan McKinnon is just screaming at his teammates every second shift, that would be quite
I haven't watched much of that series outside of one game. He's yelling at everybody.
Huh?
He's yelling at everybody.
Yeah, the Charlie Coyle one. Him and Charlie Coyle go to the bench and he's just screaming at Charlie Coyle. And then they show the replay and it was Brock Nelson who like made the fuck up. It wasn't even Coyle,
Maybe it's loud in there. You just couldn't hear him.
I guess.
Yeah. Dallas Stars. Dallas. Hey, we also need the Stars to go through so that when the Oilers beat Vegas, we can also beat the Stars again and have a Cody Ceci handshake line.
Cody Ceci plus 1,400 to score a goal in game 7.
Yep.
Maybe a sprinkle.
Yeah, there. Okay.
Maybe
All
a
right.
sprinkle. Okay. All right. I want to do a little bit of betting talk since Liam brought it up for our friends at Bet365. I'm not going to lie to you. I really, really am appreciative of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He saved my night last night.
Really?
Yep. I'll tell you all about it. Want to get in on the action for the Stanley Cup playoffs? At Bet365, they've got you. From game props, player props, totals, money line, you can bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, and Stanley Cup champions, and much, much more. Whatever your bet, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. The official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 years or older. Please play responsibly. So every game, little tradition I've had. Anytime I go to a game, I bet on Nuge to score. Part of the shtick makes sense. Game 3, I was there. He scored. Bang. Love it. Last night, he was plus 280 for a goal last night, something like that. So I put 20 on that. Ultimately paid for the rest of the night because in an elimination game, my problem that I had was I went really heavy on Connor and Leon. Wrong Connor too. The other Connor.
Yeah.
So I went really heavy on them.
He's the other Connor now.
And just backfired on me. But shout out to Nuge, that plus 280 saved the day. You guys had anything last night?
Nope. I just keep putting Connor 2 points into everything and it's not hidden. So I lose money when the Oilers win.
Yeah, I could have used a couple more shots by Kane. That would have given my 3, but I have 2. I'm going into tonight and tomorrow that are maybe just tomorrow. I did a bunch of the series and I have down to now both games coming up. So I need Winnipeg to win. I need I need Colorado to win. And then I hooked onto yours there and we just need to get through tomorrow night. And who was it?
Rantanen can't have, if Rantanen outscores McKinnon by 2 or more than 2 points, then our bet's cooked.
Is he that close to him?
Yeah, they're 10-8.
He had 4 points yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking to, maybe I looked last night.
But yeah, so basically before the series, I went heavy on Connor McDavid to lead Oilers Kings in points. He did. Shout out to number 97, even with a quiet last couple of games, he led it. And then I parlayed it in a separate bet with Nathan McKinnon. So that one was, remember I did it on the pod? It was like 47 into 280.
Yep.
And McKinnon currently is up 2 points on Rantanen in that series. So tomorrow, I'm just hoping for Rantanen to stay off the board and that should be good.
You mentioned Connor leading the series in points. So I learned something courtesy of a Reddit user called TJ Trap Jesus.
All right. Shout out.
Connor McDavid led all scorers in the series, both teams, for the 7th time in 14 career series. By comparison, Sidney Crosby has only led all scorers 6 times in 32 playoffs series. It's just one of those like weird little McDavid stats that is so impressive
No
one would think about.
Now I want to know what Gretzky did.
Oh, well, I imagine it's like every series always.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His records are always
72
so
of
stupid.
84.
Yeah, that's going to be something like that. But anyway, I just thought that was a cool little stat. Looking ahead, though, because obviously the Oilers are playing Vegas. When I started prepping the podcast today, just to win the series, the series was minus 25 for the Oilers. That is, the line is shifted to minus 115 now.
Okay.
Interesting. How do you feel about the Oilers being favored going into this?
The Oilers all of a sudden, like they were 20-1 to win the cup when they were down 2-0. They're now second on the board.
Yeah.
Like
They've skyrocketed.
everybody's right back in on this thing. So it makes sense that they're favored if that many people are betting on them to win the cup.
What do you think about that?
About the Oilers being the favorite in the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it'd be more of a pick 'em, but it kind of is, isn't it? Because what are they, minus 105?
Minus 150 right now.
Yeah, that's real close.
Sorry, Vegas 105, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much a pick 'em.
Yeah, so I'm not that surprised. They do have the best player in the series, best two players in the series. So.
But they must give us a little bit of extra edge because we do not have home ice advantage, which you would normally say that is the tipping point.
But they were the heavy favorites in the LA series too, if I'm remembering correctly.
They were.
Yeah, we're
Although,
the best. Nothing can stop us
again, for our
besides
friends at
ourselves.
Bet 365, the only bet I put down on game 5 was just straight money line because the Oilers were dogs.
I respect that.
It was great. Nothing is
the dub.
better.
That takes discipline.
Just need the dub.
That's all. Nothing is better when you go heavy on a money line and it hits for you.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like a genius.
Just a run the damn ball kind of play.
That's all you need. Simple. If you are hitting bets, let us know. We want to hear from you. But in the meantime, download the Bet365 app, official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Please be 19 years or older and play responsibly. All right, fellas, I got to ask the idiots questions for you. We're going to do this for our friends at Greta. Of course, we're going down to Greta for game days. Join us. Be there. Part of the atmosphere. 3 questions for you, fellas. What are you working on over there? Got an email going.
No, I had a really good answer for one of the mailbag questions. And I just really, really wanted to get like 3 thoughts on it down so I don't forget it.
Mailbag every Monday morning, Liam, 7 a.m. at Oilersnation.com.
Check it out.
It's been 7 a.m. every single Monday since 2014. I haven't missed one. What do you think about that?
I'm impressed.
Christmas, Easter, New Year's Day, mailbag.
Damn.
What do you think about that? Consistency you can set your watch to.
I'll set my watch to it.
All right. Liam, I'm going to start with you. This one comes in from our boy, Steven Fiddler. The Fids. In recent years, the Flames and Canucks franchises have imploded after losing to the Oilers in the playoffs. Based on all the rumors and innuendo, it sounds like the Kings are next to explode. What team would be your ideal for the Oilers to destroy next with their superpower?
The Vegas Golden Knights. Somehow we can start knocking those guys out year by year. I would love to see them.
They've been having way too much fun since they came in this league.
I want them to feel pain.
Yeah. For
then-
extended times.
Yeah, but then also Calgary again.
Yes.
I would love to see Calgary like get good. So like we beat them into a rebuild. They rebuilt, come back, start playing us again, and we beat them again. And it's like, still here, dog.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Calgary is this is a line from Coombsy where he says, there are no Calgary Flames fans. There's only Edmonton Oilers haters.
Oh, that is so true.
That's all they do is talk about the Oilers.
That barn burner clip, still funny.
The barn burner clip is fantastic. And frankly, I would think half that show is just Oilers talk these days.
It's probably
They
more.
wore Kings jerseys when the Kings were up 2-0.
Yes,
That
they
is
did. Did they
that
curse
is
That's sacrilege.
It could be the barn burner guys that cursed them. Something to consider.
that's a terrible move. There's no way anybody should get you that upset that you go put on someone else's jersey.
Brett Warner said on the show, he was like, I don't know why I'm like this. He's like, I don't even get this excited when the Flames win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's the
love it
best. Rick, which team are you destroying with the Oilers' magical superpowers?
Well, I really enjoy Liam's answers, especially to go back and beat up Calgary one more time, just because it's fun to do. But if I said Florida, then that means it's usually the Stanley Cup final each time. So I got to go someone from the East, and it would be them or Carolina, and they're the current one off the top of my head. So we'll take the Panthers here.
Speaking of which, I feel like our preseason predictions, I think I should get a half point for my New Jersey take that they were going to underperform.
That playoff series.
Because it did. Who cares about it? But going back to the start of the season, they were, if you remember, second in Stanley Cup odds.
We sat here and people were guessing like 19 different fucking hockey teams. Man, nope, that's not. Who could have? Nope, that's not them.
Tyler, who are you killing? Oilers' magical superpower.
I think I'm picking Vegas too. I would love to like make that barn ours down there. Like we traditionally do actually play pretty well there, I believe.
We've had a handful of wins in a row now.
Yeah. But I would just love that if every year it was like Pacific Division runs through Edmonton because Vegas and LA can't touch us. That would be so good.
That's a fun one because we have so many fans that go down there for almost all the away games that is now all of a sudden you got to cheer with 40% of the building.
Yeah.
And own that joint and then yell shame as everybody walks down the stairs and have the internet all angry at us for it.
Yeah, internet got real mad at us. They got big mad that one. They were all in their feelings.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think I would like to destroy the Vancouver Canucks again, mostly because their fan base deserves it.
Yeah,
they deserve nothing good. And I hope they're enjoying these words from Jim Rutherford where he's basically already saying Quinn Hughes is leaving.
I hope he comes back in a week and says something else.
Well, I mean, we got a lot of summer to get through.
It's just, why open your mouth?
We should be inviting him, Tyler. We should this as
you
a
should get him on a show or something.
Let's invite him on all of our shows always. Hey, better late than never here, Jim. What do you got to do? What do you want? What do you want to talk about?
What do you think about that defenseman of yours?
Quinn Hughes is kind of fucking annoying, eh?
Yeah, he's always looking sad all the time. His brothers want to play with his brothers, eh? Tyler, reversing the order. Give me a word to describe that the fact that the Oilers got goals from 13 different players in round one.
Euphoric.
Ooh, that's a nice word.
Wow.
And it ties into Connor Brown's celebrations. Those are my favorite damn thing going right now. The way he is just like, so like I have wanted that from the Oilers for so long, and you get it sometimes from Connor and Leon, but it's got to be a real big goal.
Yeah.
Don't matter. Connor Brown scores it. His line mate scores it. If he's on the ice for a goal, he is all time fired up.
Like if you look at the replay on the Frederick goal, he leapt in the air.
Yeah.
Big boy Freddie called him.
When he scored the empty netter, the game wasn't over. He went to go hug Pickard anyways.
Fuck yeah.
So on the, I said this on the other show too, but on the empty net goal, when Doughty fired it into Brownie blocked it, he laughed at Doughty. Like he open mouth like laughed at him and then fired it into the back of the net.
Oh, I love that. Give him an extension.
That was awesome.
If I am going to do a frowny face sticker though in the Oilers Game 6 win, hey Connor, shoot at that empty net, man, please.
I'm with you.
Before that, Leon had his chance at the blue line.
Connor
Also
passed
didn't.
it to him and like just don't pass it, Connor. Just
that's
fucking
fine.
Score.
It actually,
what are you doing?
Well, to be fair, I could have used one more Leon goal for something else. So
he was on
for love
the
of the
back
game.
end though. Like McDavid should have just shot it. Stats
love
are
the game.
irrelevant.
oh yeah, because he's not very good on his back end.
His back end on the boards. Defenseman was right in front of him. McDavid.
That's when he goes like bar down or something like that. Knocks the water
two
bottle
guys
out.
who love to talk about how stats don't matter to them. They love to make sure they each get a touch on an empty netter.
Just sharing.
Rick, what's your word? 13
Finally.
goal scorers.
Finally.
I love it. Liam, what you got?
Lovely. It was lovely to see.
It just made me horny, frankly.
Yeah.
Oilers horny. Feels good. Rick, jumping in with you. Third question, ask the idiots. Who is your unsung hero in round one versus the Kings?
The janitor.
Of course. How could you not? 2 goals, Liam.
I think it brings the room together though too.
And you know what? You want to talk about a guy who celebrates his goals hard?
Yeah.
Matthias Janmark.
He deserves it. You had a
That
goal.
weird first one in the series when he scored and like dropped his stick and was like, huh.
He acts surprised.
Yeah.
Because it is.
He was a little surprised.
Thinking through the
saw his
Sellys now,
season.
like Nuge had a good Selly last night too.
I think his are a lot of like anti-frustrate. Like, yes, fuck, get that frustration out.
That fist pump down on one knee. I love it. Liam, your unsung hero versus the Kings.
It's hard to say because I think
36.
there was a lot of guys who showed up. Yeah, like Klingberg was really good. I'll give it to Evander Kane.
He was solid.
Nice.
Played awesome.
Rock solid.
He looked like he looks like he hasn't missed a beat. To be honest, I think he's playing really, really well.
Which is wild. And I think it was Connor Brown early in the series where he said, I went 66 games without scoring a goal after coming back from injury. He did in game 2.
Yeah.
Them getting out of the car together was great.
Oh,
Yeah, that
coming out
was
of the
cool.
Lambo. Come on. So good.
He gets out with all like all the pizzazz and whatever is Kaner, and then you got Brown next to him. Just shit-eating grin.
Why not?
Love it.
Why not?
I really want them to bring him back again.
Why wouldn't you? Come on.
Yeah.
Cade?
No Brown.
Oh,
Tyler, who's your unsung hero?
Klingberg's a great answer just because and Wallman to an extent too, but man, we'd be playing Josh Brown if Bowman didn't go out and get both those guys. So again, the Klingberg acquisition late in the regular season was looking very, very bad, but it's the old adage of you need 8 defensemen to get you through a playoff run, right? And that's where the Oilers are at. So yeah, Wallman, Klingberg, those two, what they did for this blue line, overcoming the Ekholm thing, it's huge.
Am I allowed to say Calvin Pickard, unsung hero?
yep.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, he made some massive
He didn't
saves
start
yesterday.
the series. Came in, won 4 straight. He outdueled Darcy Kemper in 4 games. He's a guy that, they were doing the Pickard chants in LA and he stood tall anyways. I love seeing him fired up after last night's win.
Yeah.
I love seeing how the team just rallies around the guy. So I'm going Calvin Pickard. There you go. Ask the Idiots for our friends at Greta. Join us for our viewing parties. You can even look at Tyler sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Just gaze upon him.
I give a lot of high
across
fives
the bar.
out.
But you wash your hands after.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Carries a little spritz in his pocket.
Oh, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. Let's finish up the podcast here, fellas. Hot and cold performers. We're starting off with our veggies. Feeling good today. Feeling a little hungover. But we're feeling good. We're bouncing back. Oilers win. Round 2. We don't have a sponsor, so this is brought to you by Rick.
Thank you.
Congrats.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So since Rick is presenting this here segment for Ask the Idiots, we're going to ask you for your cold performer of the week.
It's going to go to last. Okay. So obviously I have a bit of a, not when it comes to little things here and there that I don't like to be seen. Last night, as they were going to commercial, the game was not over yet. Sportsnet played Pink Pony Club going to
And
commercial.
La Bamba.
I don't know who's doing this producing, but you cannot play either till you get that W.
Job's not finished.
Exactly.
That was spooky.
Yeah, that was
I like that button. Tyler, you're up. Cold performer of the week.
Liam and I were sitting somewhat close to each other and kind of in between us almost was this guy. I'm not even going to call him a Kings fan. It was this group of guys. Only one of the 4 of them was in an Oilers jersey. Okay. But the one wore a Kings shirt tucked into his pants.
loser.
Like his t-shirt was tucked in?
Yeah. He was wearing a Wayne Gretzky Kings shirt tucked into his black jeans
And underpants.
and he was wearing sunglasses inside. And he was very clearly, and I'm all for going to a game and having a bunch of beers and having a good time, whatever. He was very clearly not a Kings fan, right?
Mm.
So he was there to troll. And he wasn't that good at it because again, no one believed him that he was actually a Kings fan. He was just annoying.
Yeah, it's just there.
But then at the end of the game, he got way too drunk and started going into the aisle and moving around. So the usher comes over and is like, you gotta stop, stand up. You can cheer, but stay in your seat.
Mm.
And then a minute later, he's down by the camera guy banging on the glass during the play. And the camera guy's trying to do his job and is first politely trying to shove him, then eventually elbowed him and was get out of here. And this guy's not listening. He was just a fucking loser. So they eventually come to kick him out. And him and his little dweeb buddy in the quarter zip are sitting there going, what? We're not allowed to cheer for the Kings in this building? And those guys, listen,
They
if you
want a
want to
viral
troll,
moment.
whatever. The playoffs, no. You let Oilers fans take those tickets. You give those tickets up.
What
Done.
the hell is going
And
on?
he just had the look of just, ugh.
I had a Kings fan in my section last night too. He was one lonely Kings fan.
How was he though?
He was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was fine. He was cheering. But what I will say is, as the night wore on, his night probably got worse and worse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that sucks for him.
But
But at least he wasn't an asshole.
No, he was fine.
Yeah.
and
totally
again,
fine.
when we go to visiting rinks, we cheer, but we don't sit there and yell at people or go bang on the glass or run around the aisles.
Well, I would say there's been times in Vegas where I've run up and down the stairs to high five.
A little bit different. You're not running up and down the stairs just to troll. And also you're actually the fact that this guy just would have left his house with this Kings shirt he found on him and
good.
he must have thought
There's
he's
a Gretzky one too.
yeah, he must have just thought he was the funniest guy in the world.
Yeah. And in fact, he was the biggest wiener in the world.
Liam, who's your cold performer of the week?
This one, and I know people don't like to talk about this, but quite frankly, I've just had enough. The NHL officiating is the biggest joke in the world. And I don't care if this comes across as a loser's mentality because of it. But like, there's so many plays yesterday. You could argue both ways if you really want to, where it's like just clearly a call and they just refuse to do their jobs. And I don't get it. So the NHL officiating is the worst ever.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Fun part about that is if you look at, so I'll get to my cold performer and then I want to touch on yours. My cold performer is actually that I don't have enough time to sit and read Kings fans whining all day. I have things to do. I have a job. I have spreadsheets that I need to look at.
Oh, those are fun.
Liam and I built a big one. You should see this fucking thing.
It is a beast. I'll be honest.
It really is.
There's
an absolute
a lot of codes
unit.
in there.
But I just didn't have enough time to read, Kings fans having a bad time. What I wanted to touch on though is the stuff I was reading, how many of them are blaming the refs for quote unquote screwing them is pretty hilarious.
And obviously there's a bias for every fan base of like, you see it the way you want to see it, but like, I just can't sit there and not look at that Calvin Pickett play and be like, how is that just not a call?
Byfield, hand on the puck. Connor Brown, stick chopped in half.
Yeah. There was one last night too. I can't remember. It might have been Fogle on Kane. Just straight up boarded him. Like Kane was bent over and he just got cross-checked right to his lower back and his head was just in the ball.
That was the other one from the other night. Kane cross-checked in the back right into the net.
Yeah. I think that could have been considered a major if the ref had actually made a call. That was a very dangerous play.
And it was stupid. Like he wasn't even near the puck.
Oh, Brent Clark, what a bitch. Fuck me. I hate that guy.
You double flipped the bird at Alex Laferriere.
Yeah, he flipped off Alex Laferriere.
As you should.
Yeah, he didn't do anything in the series at all. But yeah, he came by and I just felt the need to do it once and it was him.
Good.
How did McMullet respond to you doing that?
No one said a word. So I would assume he was taken well.
Straight up or sideways?
Buddy.
Oh, on an angle.
Gangster style.
All right. Top performer of the week. Let's wrap up this podcast. I'm going to start with Tyler. You are up first in the Rick presented hot performer of the week.
Ales Hamsky. He was on the big screen last night, big crowd. But yesterday was also the anniversary of that goal he scored, Game 6.
Detroit.
Against Detroit in round 1. It is honestly still, from the way he waltzes into the zone to the finish of the chance and just how slick it is, to his celebration dancing through his teammates, it is still a, without a doubt, top 5 Oilers highlight for me to watch. I love that goal and I love Ales Hamsky.
He's a hot guy.
That goal also, I was lucky enough to be at that game. That goal prompted one of the wildest. It was the first time I had ever seen Edmonton start to go crazy in the playoffs. Was in 2006. I was 21 and me and a buddy got tickets to that game and the Oilers ultimately won. And at that point we were at Rexall Place. So you're nowhere near where anybody wants to be. So
dangerous area.
Yeah. So we leave the rink and we're going down to White. Cause of course you go down to White.
That's what you did in 06.
And I saw 3 dudes drag a full-size trampoline onto 118th Avenue. And they were jumping up and down on the trampoline in the middle of the road. And cars were just happily driving around them. Nothing to see here, fellas. Enjoy your trampolining.
Have your fun.
Enjoy. That was one of those ones where we had a conversation on Real Life yesterday about, are the Oilers playoff rides more fun with people having cell phones and social media or before? Like that specific moment,
before.
Those 3 dudes, yes, those 3 dudes on the trampoline though, like that clip would go viral everywhere.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
So anyway, shout out to Ales Hamsky. Also, Ryan Whitney retweeted my picture of him last night. I was like, why did I just get a mention spike? And then, oh, there we go.
Really? Rick,
you're up. Hot performer of the week.
We're going across the ocean here. We're going to HC Kometa Brno. So this is the Brno is a city in the Czech Republic. They play in the Czech Republic Extraliga. They won their championship. And I bring this up. Why? Because friend of the nation, Brandon Davidson was on this team. And Davey got to win his championship the other night. So we'll give it out to all those guys for getting their little victory.
We the best.
Shout out to Brandon Davidson.
Yeah.
What league is that? Czech league?
Yeah.
You got any prospects over there, Liam?
Not in the Czech league yet.
All right. Just asking.
Stay tuned.
Not trying hard enough.
Yep. Hey, maybe a little summer plans for you. Liam, you're up. Hot form of the week.
Mine will go to Mistaken Mexican for buying me a ticket to go to the game yesterday so I could watch the handshakes again. It is a great tradition. I promise everyone, if the Oilers, knock on wood, are ever on the brink of elimination on home ice, I will not go. Can't do it to everyone. Also, shout out to Zach for his great tweet yesterday when the Kings tweeted, "Do or die," and Zach quoted after and said, "They chose to die." That one tickled me.
Joe's barbecue and foot massage. Joe's barbecue and foot massage.
Hot form of the week for me is easy. The Oilers' depth scoring. Again, 13 guys with a goal in this series. You cannot say this is a two-man team. Everybody was contributing. Everybody was doing their job. Everybody was making sure the Kings go home early. And it just makes me happy. It really, really does. Very, very much.
Getting me armchair GM horny.
Something to think about. Something to think about. All right, fellas, we're going to say goodbye for the weekend. Tyler, I'd like you to give maybe some words of hope going into round 2 to close us out.
The Oilers play better when the days are longer.
Oh, when the sun's out more, I like this.
That is nice. Have a great weekend, everybody.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.